Ladies and gentlemen, the rarest woman in the world begins by understanding one fundamental truth: her worth is not tied to what she has, what she does, or what others think of her. Her value is inherent, deeply rooted in her identity as a creation of divine purpose. This understanding transforms the way she walks, talks, and engages with the world. She does not measure herself by the standards of society, which often reduce women to their appearance, possessions, or relationships. She knows that those things are fleeting and unreliable. Instead, her self-worth comes from an unchanging source, her God-given identity. This foundation allows her to stand tall even when others try to diminish her. The rare woman does not seek validation through the approval of others. Compliments do not inflate her, and criticism does not crush her, because she is not dependent on external opinions. She understands that to give someone else the power to define her worth is to surrender her strength. Her value is already determined, and no one can take it away. This deep understanding of her worth also dictates the relationships she entertains. She does not settle for anyone or anything that undermines her dignity. She knows that a relationship should complement her, not define her. She would rather walk alone in purpose than compromise her worth to fit into someone else's expectations. Because she knows her worth, she also invests in herself. She takes time to nurture her mind, body, and spirit, recognizing that she cannot pour into others unless she is whole. This is not selfishness, it is wisdom. She cannot allow the world to take what she has not replenished. The rare woman is also unafraid of rejection. She understands that not everyone will appreciate or recognize her value, and that's okay. She refuses to shrink herself to be palatable to those who cannot comprehend her worth. Instead, she chooses to surround herself with those who celebrate her rather than tolerate her. Knowing her worth gives her an aura of confidence that cannot be faked or imitated. It is not arrogance, but a quiet assurance that she is enough just as she is. This inner strength allows her to move through life with grace, even in the face of adversity. She is not concerned with proving herself to the world, because she knows that the opinion of man does not determine her destiny. Her focus is on becoming the best version of herself, not on seeking validation from others. This perspective frees her from the endless chase for acceptance and allows her to focus on her purpose. To know your worth is to walk in freedom. It is to live without fear of rejection, manipulation, or comparison. And it is this freedom that makes the rare woman in the world truly extraordinary. The rarest woman in the world is not driven by the distractions of the moment. She is guided by a vision that transcends her current circumstances. She understands that without a vision, life becomes a cycle of meaningless activity, where days are spent reacting rather than creating. For her, vision is not just a lofty idea, it is the roadmap for her existence, the compass that points her toward her destiny. This woman is not aimless or easily swayed by trends and temporary gratifications. She has taken the time to seek clarity about her purpose and align her actions with it. Her vision is not something she stumbled upon by chance. It is a result of deep reflection, prayer, and an understanding of her unique design. She knows that her Creator has placed within her gifts, talents, and a specific role that no one else can fulfill. Because she lives with vision, she doesn't waste time comparing herself to others. She understands that her journey is uniquely hers and that her destination is different from anyone else's. Comparison is a trap for those without vision, but for her it is irrelevant. Her focus is forward, on what lies ahead, not on what others are doing around her. Her vision gives her the strength to endure challenges and setbacks. She knows that obstacles are inevitable but temporary, and because she sees beyond the present, she does not let difficulties discourage her. Instead, she views them as opportunities to grow, refine her character, and become more prepared for what lies ahead. Her vision acts as a source of motivation, a constant reminder of why she cannot give up. A woman who lives with vision is intentional about how she spends her time. She prioritizes her energy on what aligns with her goals and eliminates distractions that do not serve her purpose. She is not afraid to say no to activities, relationships, or opportunities that pull her away from her vision. Her decisions are not based on convenience or comfort, but on alignment with her calling. This focus does not make her rigid or unyielding. Instead, it gives her clarity and flexibility. She knows that while her ultimate destination is fixed, the path may require adjustments. She remains adaptable, willing to learn and grow as she moves forward. Her vision is not a burden, it is a source of inspiration and joy, propelling her through both triumphs and trials. The rare woman understands that living with vision requires discipline. She doesn't allow procrastination, fear, or doubt to derail her. She actively works toward her goals, even when progress seems slow or invisible. Her consistency is rooted in her belief that every step she takes is a step closer to fulfilling her purpose. Because of her vision, she surrounds herself with people who inspire and challenge her. She knows that the company she keeps will either propel her forward or hold her back. She seeks relationships that align with her values and her purpose, choosing companions who understand and respect the importance of her journey. She lives each day with intention, knowing that every moment is an opportunity to build something lasting. Her vision gives her life meaning and direction, and it ensures that she is not merely existing but thriving. The rarest woman in the world possesses a quiet yet undeniable power, the ability to influence others. She understands that true influence is not about control or manipulation, it is about inspiring others to think, grow, and act differently. Her influence is rooted in authenticity and character, making her impact lasting and meaningful. She masters the art of influence by first mastering herself. She knows that she cannot lead others until she can lead her own life with discipline and integrity. Her words and actions align, creating a consistency that earns trust and respect. People are drawn to her not because of what she demands, but because of what she demonstrates. Her life becomes a living example of what is possible, and in that she inspires others to rise higher. This woman does not speak to be heard, she speaks to be understood. Her words are measured and deliberate, chosen with care to uplift, challenge, and encourage. She listens more than she talks, understanding that influence comes not from dominating conversations, but from truly understanding the needs and perspectives of others. This ability to connect on a deeper level makes her words impactful, carrying weight that lingers long after she has spoken. Her influence extends beyond what she says. The way she carries herself speaks volumes. Her presence commands attention not because she is loud or imposing, but because she exudes confidence and poise. There is a grace in how she moves, a quiet strength that makes others take notice. She doesn't need to demand respect, it is given freely because of the way she respects herself and others. The rare woman understands that influence is not about popularity or fame. It is about leaving a positive imprint on the lives she touches. She does not seek to be the center of attention, yet her impact often places her there. Her influence is not about self-promotion, it is about creating change, fostering growth, and building others up. She finds fulfillment not in being admired, but in seeing others flourish because of the seeds she has sown. She recognizes that influence comes with responsibility. She does not take lightly the effect her words and actions can have on others. Because of this, she is intentional about her choices, ensuring that she leads with integrity and aligns her influence with her values. She knows that influence is not about control, but about empowering others to make their own choices and pursue their own paths. This mastery of influence is not something she wields for personal gain. She uses it to serve, to guide, and to uplift. She knows that true leadership is about raising others up, not keeping them down. Her influence is never oppressive but liberating, encouraging others to reach their full potential. Her influence also transcends time. The rare woman is intentional about the legacy she leaves, knowing that the ripples of her actions will extend far beyond her own life. She pours into others, not seeking immediate rewards, but trusting that the impact of her efforts will continue to grow, shaping lives and communities long after she is gone. She does not impose herself on others, rather, people gravitate toward her because of the authenticity of her influence. She doesn't need a title or position to lead. Her character and actions speak for themselves. This is the power of true influence. It is not imposed but invited, not demanded but earned. The rarest woman in the world understands the profound truth that her heart and mind are the epicenters of her life. She knows that what she allows into these sacred spaces will shape her emotions, decisions, and destiny. Because of this, she takes intentional steps to protect them, knowing that their health determines the course of her life. She is selective about the voices she listens to and the influences she allows to penetrate her mind. Whether it's through conversations, media, or even the environment she places herself in, she remains vigilant. She knows that every word, image, or thought she entertains has the potential to either build her up or tear her down. By guarding her mind, she ensures that only truth, wisdom, and positivity have a place there. This woman is acutely aware of how easily negativity can creep in and take root. She does not entertain gossip, slander, or toxic relationships. She avoids environments where negativity thrives, knowing that such things can poison her spirit. Instead, she surrounds herself with people and situations that uplift, challenge, and inspire her to grow. She believes that her mind is fertile ground and that what she plants there will one day bear fruit. She also understands the importance of guarding her heart. Her heart is where her emotions dwell, and she knows that unchecked emotions can lead to poor decisions. She does not let anger, bitterness, or fear take residence there. When hurt or disappointment comes her way, as it inevitably will, she processes it with wisdom and grace. She does not suppress her emotions, but she also does not allow them to rule her. Instead, she filters them through truth and seeks healing before moving forward. The rare woman is intentional about creating boundaries that protect her heart. She does not give everyone access to her innermost thoughts and feelings. She knows that not everyone is worthy of that level of intimacy, and she chooses carefully who she allows into her inner circle. This is not an act of arrogance, but of wisdom. She recognizes that her heart is too precious to be entrusted to just anyone. She also guards her heart and mind by being disciplined in her thoughts. She refuses to dwell on things that bring her down or lead her away from her purpose. When doubts or fears arise, she counters them with affirmations of truth and faith. She replaces worry with prayer, anxiety with action, and despair with hope. This discipline strengthens her, making her resilient in the face of life's challenges. Her commitment to guarding her heart and mind also extends to the content she consumes. She is careful about the books she reads, the shows she watches, and the conversations she participates in. She does not allow harmful messages to infiltrate her thinking or dictate her self-perception. Instead, she fills her mind with wisdom, truth, and knowledge that help her grow into the woman she is meant to be. This woman knows that guarding her heart and mind is not just a one-time effort, but a lifelong practice. She remains alert, constantly evaluating what she allows into her life and making adjustments when necessary. She understands that this vigilance is not a burden, but a privilege, a way of ensuring that she remains aligned with her purpose and calling. Her ability to guard her heart and mind also gives her a sense of peace. She is not easily swayed by the chaos of the world or the negativity of others, because she has created a safe and sacred space within herself. This peace allows her to navigate life with clarity and confidence, unshaken by the storms around her. She does not view this guarding as isolation, but as preparation. By protecting her heart and mind, she ensures that she can give the best of herself to the world without being depleted. She becomes a source of strength, wisdom, and love for those around her, all because she has first taken the time to nurture and protect the most essential parts of herself. The rarest woman in the world understands that growth is not optional, it is essential. She knows that stagnation is the enemy of purpose and that a life without progress is a life unfulfilled. Because of this, she makes personal growth her priority, committing herself to constant learning, development, and refinement. She does not wait for opportunities to force her to grow. She actively seeks them out. Whether through education, mentorship, or self-reflection, she invests in becoming better today than she was yesterday. She recognizes that growth is a process, not a destination. It requires patience, persistence, and an unwavering commitment to improvement. This woman is not content with mediocrity. She knows that settling for good enough is a trap that keeps many from reaching their potential. Instead, she pushes herself to rise higher, even when the process is uncomfortable. Growth often requires stepping out of comfort zones, and she willingly embraces the challenge, knowing that discomfort is a necessary part of transformation. She prioritizes growth in every area of her life, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, and physically. She understands that true growth is holistic and that neglecting one aspect of her being will eventually hinder her progress in others. She seeks balance, ensuring that her spiritual foundation is strong, her emotions are healthy, her mind is sharp, and her body is cared for. Her commitment to growth also extends to her relationships. She surrounds herself with people who challenge and inspire her, those who encourage her to strive for excellence rather than settle for less. She avoids relationships that stagnate her growth or pull her backward. Instead, she seeks connections that are mutually uplifting, where both parties push each other to grow and succeed. She is also unafraid of failure because she sees it as a necessary part of growth. Rather than viewing mistakes as setbacks, she views them as opportunities to learn and improve. Each failure becomes a stepping stone, teaching her lessons that propel her forward. Her resilience is born from this mindset, allowing her to rise stronger after every fall. This woman prioritizes growth by setting clear goals for herself. She does not drift aimlessly through life, hoping for success to come her way. Instead, she takes intentional steps toward her dreams, breaking them down into achievable milestones. She tracks her progress, celebrating small victories along the way while keeping her eyes on the bigger picture. Her growth mindset also makes her adaptable. She knows that life is full of unexpected changes and challenges, and she is prepared to adjust her plans when necessary. This flexibility allows her to continue growing even when circumstances shift. She does not resist change but embraces it, seeing it as an opportunity to evolve. She prioritizes growth by cultivating a habit of reflection. She takes time to evaluate her actions, choices, and progress, identifying areas where she can improve. This self-awareness helps her stay aligned with her purpose and ensures that she is always moving in the right direction. Reflection also keeps her grounded, reminding her of how far she has come while motivating her to keep going. The rare woman is intentional about feeding her mind with knowledge and wisdom. She reads, studies, and learns from others who have gone before her. She seeks out mentors, both in person and through their teachings, and applies their lessons to her own life. She knows that growth does not happen in isolation, but through connection and learning from the experiences of others. She also prioritizes growth by remaining humble. She does not assume she knows everything or has all the answers. Instead, she approaches life with curiosity and a willingness to learn. She is open to feedback, even when it is uncomfortable, because she knows that constructive criticism is a gift that can help her grow. Her dedication to growth is not about achieving perfection, but about becoming the best version of herself. She understands that growth is a lifelong journey, one that requires consistent effort and commitment. This perspective keeps her motivated, ensuring that she never settles but continues striving for greater heights in every season of her life. The rarest woman in the world has a heart for service, but she understands the delicate balance between giving to others and preserving herself. She serves with intention and wisdom, knowing that true service comes from a place of strength, not depletion. Her life is a testament to the power of selfless giving, yet she never allows her identity to be consumed by the needs or demands of others. She knows that service is not about abandoning herself, but about extending her gifts, talents, and time to uplift others while staying rooted in her purpose. This woman gives freely, but not recklessly. She discerns the difference between genuine service and exploitation, ensuring that her kindness is not mistaken for weakness. Her boundaries are clear, not as walls to keep people out, but as safeguards to ensure her giving remains healthy and sustainable. Her ability to serve without losing herself comes from a deep understanding of her own worth. She knows that she cannot pour from an empty cup, so she prioritizes self-care and personal growth. She takes the time to recharge, to reflect, and to nurture her own well-being. By doing so, she ensures that her service is not a burden but a joy, flowing from a place of abundance rather than scarcity. This woman is intentional about the causes she dedicates herself to. She does not spread herself thin by trying to do everything for everyone. Instead, she focuses on the areas where she can make the most impact, aligning her efforts with her values and purpose. She serves with clarity, knowing that saying no to some things is necessary to give her best yes to the things that truly matter. She also serves with wisdom, recognizing that enabling is not the same as empowering. While she is generous with her time and resources, she does not allow others to become dependent on her. Instead, she seeks to uplift and empower, teaching others to stand on their own rather than relying on her indefinitely. This approach ensures that her service creates lasting change, not temporary relief. Her service is marked by humility, but also by strength. She does not serve out of obligation or a need for approval. She serves because she understands the transformative power of giving. Her service is an extension of her character, a reflection of her compassion and love for others. Yet she never loses sight of her own identity or allows her worth to be defined solely by what she does for others. The rare woman is also careful about who she allows into her life. She surrounds herself with people who respect her boundaries and appreciate her efforts. She does not serve to gain love or acceptance, but from a place of knowing she's already valuable. This self-assuredness protects her from being taken advantage of or losing herself in the process of giving. She serves with purpose, understanding that her contributions are part of a bigger picture. Whether in her community, family, or career, she sees her role as significant yet part of a greater whole. She does not seek to be the savior, but to play a part in creating positive change. This perspective keeps her grounded, reminding her that her service is meaningful without requiring her to overextend herself. Her ability to serve without losing herself comes from her deep connection to her values and purpose. She knows who she is and what she stands for, and she remains unwavering in those truths. This clarity allows her to give freely without compromising her own identity. She does not allow the expectations or opinions of others to dictate her actions, but instead serves from a place of authenticity and conviction. The rare woman also practices gratitude, both for the opportunities to serve and for the lessons she learns through service. She sees each act of giving as a chance to grow, to connect, and to make a difference. Yet, she never lets the demands of service overshadow her own needs or dreams. She understands that her life is a balance between giving and receiving, and she honors both with grace. Her service is impactful because it is intentional, and her identity remains intact because it is guarded. She gives generously without neglecting herself, demonstrating that true service does not require self-sacrifice but self-awareness. She serves without resentment or exhaustion because she understands the boundaries that preserve her strength and protect her heart. The rarest woman in the world lives with the awareness that her life is about more than the here and now. She understands that her actions, choices, and character will echo long after she is gone. For her, life is not just about achieving success, but about creating a legacy, something meaningful and enduring that will inspire others and shape the world for the better. She does not wait for old age to think about her legacy. She builds it daily through her words, her actions, and the values she upholds. Every decision she makes is guided by a sense of purpose, knowing that she is laying the foundation for something greater than herself. She strives to live in a way that reflects integrity, love, and wisdom, ensuring that her impact is both positive and lasting. This woman understands that legacy is not about wealth, titles, or accolades. Those things may fade, but the value she imparts and the lives she touches will endure. She prioritizes relationships, investing her time and energy into the people who matter most. She mentors, guides, and uplifts others, knowing that her influence on their lives will carry her legacy forward. She leaves a legacy by the example she sets. Her life speaks louder than any word she could say. She embodies resilience, strength, and grace, showing others what is possible when one lives with purpose. She is not perfect, but she is authentic, and her willingness to grow and overcome inspires those around her to do the same. The rare woman is intentional about passing on her knowledge and wisdom. She does not hoard her experiences or achievements, but shares them freely with those who come after her. Whether it's through mentoring, teaching, or simply being present, she ensures that the lessons she has learned are not lost. She views every interaction as an opportunity to sow seeds that will bear fruit in the lives of others. She also understands that legacy is about impact, not just intention. She takes actionable steps to create change, whether in her community, her family, or the world at large. She does not wait for perfect conditions or grand opportunities, but makes the most of what she has, wherever she is. Her commitment to leaving the world better than she found it drives her to act, even in small ways that others might overlook. Her legacy is also evident in the way she nurtures the next generation. She pours into her children, if she has them, or into those she mentors and influences. She teaches them values like kindness, resilience, and responsibility, knowing that they will carry those lessons into the future. She plants seeds of greatness in them, encouraging them to dream big and live boldly. The rare woman understands that her legacy is tied to her character. She is not focused on how she will be remembered, but on who she is becoming. She lives with integrity, knowing that her actions must align with her values if her legacy is to be genuine and impactful. Her character is her greatest gift to the world, and she strives to ensure that it reflects her deepest beliefs. She leaves a legacy by creating things that outlive her. Whether it's through writing, building, or creating opportunities for others, she invests in projects and initiatives that will continue to have an impact even when she is no longer here. She does not seek personal recognition for these efforts, but takes joy in knowing that her contributions will make a difference. Her legacy is also evident in the lives she touches along the way. She understands that even the smallest acts of kindness or encouragement can have ripple effects far beyond what she can see. She is generous with her time, her resources, and her love, knowing that these investments will bear fruit in ways she may never fully understand. The rare woman views her legacy as her contribution to the story of humanity. She does not see herself as separate from others, but as part of a larger whole. Her legacy is not about elevating herself, but about lifting others. She lives with the awareness that her life is a thread in a greater tapestry, and she strives to weave it with beauty, purpose, and meaning. She is intentional about creating memories that will endure. She spends time with her loved ones, shares her stories, and celebrates life's milestones. She knows that these moments are precious and that they will be cherished by those who come after her. Her presence in their lives becomes a gift, and her impact becomes a treasure they carry forward. She leaves a legacy not by striving for perfection, but by living with passion and purpose. She understands that legacy is not about doing everything, but about doing the right things, those that align with her calling and make the world a better place. Her life is her message, and she writes it with care, knowing that it will speak long after her voice is silent.